Imagine the suffocating darkness, the echo of your own breath, and the distant cracking of rock. This is not a nightmare, it's reality for one man trapped deep underground. No sunlight, almost no food, and the terrifying uncertainty of rescue. The story you're about to hear isn't fiction. It's a true tale of survival, endurance, and hope against all odds. For 69 days the world watched, holding its breath, as one man and his companions fought for their lives beneath the Earth's surface. It was just another workday in 2010 for 33 miners in Chile. Deep beneath the desert, they entered the San José copper and gold mine, expecting nothing out of the ordinary. But fate had other plans. Within hours, their lives would change forever, as they became the center of one of history's most gripping survival stories. This is the real account of the men who would soon be known around the world for their resilience and courage. San José mine was no stranger to risk. With a long history of safety concerns, every miner knew the dangers lurking in the tunnels, yet the need for work and the promise of gold and copper kept operations running. On August 5, 2010, these risks became reality. The miners, familiar with the mine's creaks and groans, could never have predicted the catastrophe that was about to unfold. Without warning, a deafening rumble shattered the routine. Hundreds of thousands of tons of rock crashed through the mine, blocking escape routes and filling the air with choking dust. In an instant, darkness swallowed everything. The miners were cut off from the world above, their fate uncertain. The collapse was total, leaving no clear way out and no immediate hope of rescue. As the dust settled, the miners faced a horrifying truth. They were trapped nearly 700 meters underground, almost half a mile beneath the surface. With every escape route blocked and no way to communicate with the outside world, they had no idea if anyone even knew they were alive. The silence was overwhelming, broken only by the sounds of their own movements and the settling mine. Inside a cramped underground shelter, the miners gathered to take stock of their supplies. The results were grim, just a few cans of food, a little milk and some tuna. With so little to go around, they rationed every morsel, giving each man only tiny portions every 2 days. Survival meant discipline and sacrifice, one spoonful, one small bite, and then the long wait for the next. Hunger gnawed at the miners, but it wasn't their only enemy. The psychological toll of being trapped in darkness, isolated from the world, was immense. Each man battled his own fears and doubts, clinging to hope as the days dragged on. The struggle was as much mental as it was physical, with every hour underground testing their resolve. Miners' only refuge was a small, reinforced shelter deep within the mine. Here they organized themselves, creating routines to maintain order and sanity. They shared stories, supported one another, and tried to keep spirits up despite the uncertainty. The shelter became their world, a place of both hope and despair. Cut off from the outside, the miners had no way to let anyone know they were alive. Days passed with no sign of rescue. Above ground, families and rescue teams could only guess at their fate. The silence was crushing, but the men below refused to give up hope, holding on to the belief that someone would come. As news of the disaster spread, the world's attention turned to the San José mine. Families gathered at the surface, rescue teams mobilized, and media outlets reported every development. The fate of the 33 miners became a global story, with millions hoping for a miracle. After days of silence, rescuers finally made contact. A note attached to a drill bit confirmed the miners were alive. Relief swept through the camp above and hope surged underground. The message was simple but powerful. "We are well in the shelter, the 33. It was a turning point in the ordeal. With communication established, rescuers began sending supplies down narrow boreholes. Food, water, and medicine reached the miners, giving them a fighting chance. The lifeline was fragile, but it meant everything. Each delivery was a reminder that they were not alone, and that the world above was working tirelessly to bring them home. Inside the shelter, the miners developed routines to keep themselves physically and mentally strong. They exercised, maintained hygiene, and supported one another through the darkest moments. Leadership emerged, with certain men taking charge to keep morale high and disputes to a minimum. Their discipline and unity became key to their survival. Above ground, engineers and rescue teams worked around the clock to devise a plan. Drilling through nearly half a mile of solid rock was a monumental challenge. Every decision carried risks, but failure was not an option. The world watched as heavy machinery and human ingenuity combined in a race against time. For the miners, every day was a test of patience and faith. They clung to hope, but uncertainty lingered. Would the rescue succeed? How much longer could they hold on? The days blurred together, but the men supported each other, sharing stories and dreams of seeing their families again. After weeks of drilling, rescuers finally broke through to the miners. Cheers erupted above and below ground. The rescue capsule, dubbed the Phoenix, was prepared to bring the men up one by one. The end of their ordeal was in sight, but the final moments would be the most nerve-wracking of all. One by one, the miners entered the narrow capsule and began their journey to the surface. Each ascent was a test of nerves, as the capsule traveled slowly through the rock. Families and rescuers waited anxiously, celebrating each successful rescue. The world watched, united in hope and relief. As each miner emerged from the earth, they were greeted by cheers, tears, and embraces from loved ones. The emotional reunions were broadcast around the globe, a testament to the power of hope and human resilience. After 69 days underground, the ordeal was finally over. rescue of the Chilean miners became a symbol of hope and perseverance worldwide. Their story inspired millions, showing what can be achieved when people unite in the face of adversity. The miners' courage and the determination of the rescue teams left a lasting legacy. For the miners, life after rescue brought new challenges. Many struggled with the psychological effects of their ordeal, but they also found strength in their shared experience. Their story continues to be told, reminding us of the resilience of the human spirit. Story of the 33 miners trapped underground for 69 days remains one of the greatest survival tales ever told. It's a testament to courage, hope, and the unbreakable will to live. As we remember their ordeal, we're reminded that even in the darkest moments, the human spirit can shine the brightest.